Shut up and sit down.
Good evening, everyone! Welcome back once again to Vicious Raps, and of course I am your host, Mr. Main Event himself, the often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious, and we are gonna go over Raw this week. Was in Brussels, Belgium, and well, you know, it's if you've known, folks, I'm gonna lay out something honest. Something that not even the most tried and true listener of this show has ever heard. There are only two things in this world I cannot stand with the unbridled passion of 1,000 suns. Those who are intolerant to other people's cultures and the Dutch. And I'm going to end that joke right there because my producer behind the cameras, Wade, looks like he's about to have a heart attack and a stroke at the same time, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be getting put into I'm getting sent to the Main Event Network's HR office because of that Dutch comment. I mean, it's not like I told them to go stick their finger in it. Oh, shit. Okay, let's move forward before I bury myself even deeper. It was in Brussels, Belgium this week. Before we get into this show, folks, want to remind everyone we are WWE Shop affiliates. So what that means is, if you scan that QR code that is on the screen right there, or go in the description comments and click the link if you're listening to this in audio form, it will take you to WWE Shop. You make whatever purchase you want off of that link, and that in turn will help us here at the Vicious Studios because we will receive a small nominal commission from it, and you can get whatever you want. You want to get one of those new football club title championship belts, by all means go for it. I've heard a couple people say they're a little annoyed they don't have a Madrid one, but neither here nor there. You want to get a Jey Uso, yeet, sure, go for it. You want to get a John Cena farewell tour, well, may not be able to see him, but you can see yourself in that shirt. Go ahead, get whatever you want off of that. Just make sure, like I said, you scan that QR code right there. And Wade, seriously, man, quit trying to play around. Sorry, folks. Make whatever purchase you want off of that, and that in turn will help us in the long run improving the show for you. Now, before we go any further, let's switch gears and talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind. And last week's SmackDown, it was in Barcelona, and my God, wow! Like, wow! This European tour WWE is on, I am freaking loving. You know, maybe it's because this is the first time me being a US fan is seeing the European tour, and more so seeing European tour stuff, not just from the TV show that was pre-taped and such, but also getting to see it live, which we're going to talk about in a moment. It was just wow. It just feels more, I'm trying to think the right way to describe it, it just feels bigger and better and like, whoa. That's the best way I can describe it. Now, the show started out with the one and only L.A. Knight. Yeah, dummy. Yeah, let me talk to you. Talking about on how he's the new United States champion. He's marching into WrestleMania as U.S. champ. Yeah. And he's going to march out of U.S. champ. Yeah. And that is not an insult. That is just a fact of life. Yeah. And I'm paraphrasing all that, mind you. And then we get interrupted by Big Jimmy Uso. Excuse me. Talking about on how his road to WrestleMania has got roadblocks on it. And on how he needs his shot at Mania. And that U.S. Championship is his way into Mania, so he wants it. And before Knight can say anything else, they get interrupted by Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. And Solo abruptly says point blank, Listen, big brother. Before you become even more of a family disgrace, how about you just shut how about you just stop? Catching himself because Solo almost said fuck in front of the live crowd. Yeah, that's a big no-no, baby brother. And then Jamie winds up saying, hey, I'm the family mess up. And listen, Oos, let me ask you this. Who lost the Ulafala in tribal combat? So, yeah, then it was that. But Jacob wound up, or not Jacob, Solo wound up saying that if anyone deserves a shot at the U.S. Championship, it is his main man, Jacob Fatu. And then as they get up into the ring, and it looks like there's about to be a big brouhaha between all four guys, Tama Tonga comes out of nowhere, attacks Jimmy, and then it becomes a 3-on-2, and then they get saved by one big son of a bitch, and who is Braun Strowman. He comes out, clears house. Nick Aldis then comes out, is empowered by the spirit of Teddy Long, and makes this a 6-man tag team match. Play as holla holla. So we wind up getting a trios match. LA Knight, Jimmy Uso, and Braun Strowman all going against Solo, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu. That was a good match. It was a hell of a good opener. Really good way to start out the show. The babyfaces wound up getting the win. It was Strowman doing the running power slam to Tama Tonga. As he's got his arms up celebrating the win, Jacob out of nowhere then, or not Jacob, Solo, I'm sorry. I keep getting my names messed up. Solo then, boom, pops Bron with a Samoan spike. But honestly, my biggest takeaway from this match more than anything, the big old brouhaha and stare down between Strowman and Jacob Fatu. We are going to be getting these two big hosses squaring it up again soon. I am hoping we get something at Mania. I'm just picture it now. Tribal Combat, WrestleMania. Tell me you don't hear money being printed off of that. Because getting a big old hoss fight between them two at WrestleMania. Yeah, I definitely see money there. Now we also have B-Fab going up against Charlotte, and whoo boy. Good thing I took my heart pills before this match. Well, it was what it was. Not necessarily something to write home about, but I'm happy to see B-Fab getting TV time and getting to work in the ring. I'm hoping we get to see more of her in the ring as time goes. You know, when it's always nice to get some new, fresh talent in the ring to work with somebody, to work with others. It was a good match. Charlotte wound up getting the win. Not much of a shocker. She did the figure 8. And after the match, she did not let go of the figure 8 up until we heard the music. It's Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton came running down. Them two started fighting to the point they had to get separated and pulled apart. And then they kept fighting some more to the point where they interrupted the opening of Ms. TV. And they were still going at it. Excuse me. Now, there wasn't anything to Ms. TV because as he was doing that, as Miz was doing that, Cody then came out, who was supposed to be his guest, popped Miz in the face, hit him with the crossroads, and then pretty much just up and left. He really didn't have much to say then, but he will in a minute at Raw, which we're going to get to. Just wait, folks. And we also had Damian Priest going one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura. That ended in a no contest when Drew McIntyre came out, attacked Priest. We're definitely going to be getting Priest and McIntyre at Mania. I can feel it. I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my itchy bones, folks. And then, next thing you know, at one point during the fight, Drew, he backs up, and then Nakamura, boom, pops Priest with a Kinshasa in the back of the head. And Drew, my big takeaway from that the whole time was Drew just locking eyes on Nakamura like, all right, listen. You may have taken down the son of a bitch I was beating up, but you even think about trying to lay a hand on me, and I will rip your arm off and shove it up your ass. He just had that kind of look on his face. It was like, ooh. Now, then we had Randy Orton going against Carmelo Hayes. This was a good match, and honestly, I really dug it in the fact that Randy I don't want to say he's at his peak, because honestly, I'm not quite sure. I mean, it can always be argued and debated if this guy's at their peak or that guy's at their peak, but I don't want to say he's at his peak, but Randy is at that point where he's the legend and can go into legend killer mode at the same time, and it's just, wow. That's just great to see Randy like that. Now, Randy wound up getting the win with an RKO. After the match, he went to go put his hand out to do the code of honor, shake Carmelo's hand. Melo just like, man, get out of here. I ain't got time for this. Trying to leave, and then next thing you know, Randy, boom, pops him with another RKO right then and there, and then backs up, and then just sees, looks at Hayes like, okay, sizing him up, getting ready to go for a punt, and next thing you know, what happens? Melo's out of the ring. Randy sees Kevin Owens out there. They start swinging and brawling, and Owens winds up eventually getting away, skedaddling. Again, I can feel it in my bones, folks. We getting Randy and KO at WrestleMania. And I'm calling it now. I am predicting it now, because you could see the build-up for it. It's the anticipation. We're getting the build-up and the anticipation for it. Randy is trying to hit a punt. The more he's trying, we're getting closer and closer and closer. And every time we are, we're just like, dude, I just want to see. Come on, let me just see it once. Just one. We're going to get a punt at WrestleMania. Randy Orton is going to punt somebody in the head at WrestleMania. I don't know if it's Kevin Owens. I don't know if it's John Cena. I don't even know if it's going to be Cody Rhodes. Yeah, Cody Rhodes. Okay, that's going to be a new nickname to stick to. And, yeah, I don't know who it's going to be, but Randy is going to punt somebody. We had Gunther doing a match against Axiom, and this was a payoff for the crowd because Axiom, first Spanish-born signing to WWE, they're in Barcelona, so yeah, obviously. What do you expect? Gunther wound up getting a win, and this was because to help build him up for WrestleMania with Jay. Yeet. So then we had DIY defending their coveted tag team championship against the Street Profits. Good match, really dug it. Profits wound up getting the win now. So your winners and new WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits. So with that said, now let's get into this week's show. Raw in Brussels. I'm leaving it at that, Wade, so that way I don't get sent to HR. I'm sorry, folks. Wade has just informed me HR does wish to speak with me after this. So, in the event they're going to tell me I need to say or do something, I'm just going to say now, my views and opinions here do not reflect those of the Main Event Wrestling Network. In general, these are just strictly mine. Furthermore, these were all lighthearted comments that were made to strictly entertain and provide some form of laughter. If anyone did feel offended or insulted by it, please say something to me specifically at Tim Vicious on pretty much any and all social media platforms. Still doesn't take away that joke that I said. 2 things I cannot tolerate. Those who are intolerant to other people's cultures and the Dutch. Moving forward, though, the show starts out with John Cena coming out to a sea, and I mean riding a fucking tsunami wave of boos coming down to the ring. No hype up, no yelling to Stu the cameraman, just walking on down. I felt like I took a trip in the Wayback Machine. I thought it was like 2014 Cena, where it was like, oh my god. They are booing the ungodly fuck out of him. And not only that, they were doing, John Cena sucks! John Cena sucks! John Cena sucks! Let's go Cena, Cena sucks! Yeah, it was like a trip going back to like 2012, 2014 Cena. Like, whoa! So John finally speaks and he explains. he's been in a toxic relationship. For the past 15 something years, he's been in a toxic relationship with all of us. Because no matter what he gave us, it was never good enough. And we were never satisfied. You know, no matter what. He came out and officially announced his end on his terms in a way nobody ever has before. And what do? We want more. He's mad at the world over it all. So you know what? Screw it. See you right there? Forget you. Forget you. Forget you. See you there, little boy, wearing the same hat, wearing the same shirt, wearing all the John Cena stuff, right? Right? Forget you. And then a camera pans to the kid, wearing all this looking like a Super Cena fan. Like, oh. And you could see the hope and joy die in that kid's face. Like, oh my God. He really did. He really did fully turn. And yes, this may just be a TV act where, you know, he's a bad guy on camera, but in real life, he's good to the kids. You know, no different than what you're going to see with, like, Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom in the Marvel Avengers. But in real life, yeah, he's a good guy. You know, no different than you see, like, Tom Cruise played a Nazi in Operation Valkyrie. But I'm pretty sure in real life, Tom Cruise is a dude you wouldn't mind having a beer and a sandwich with. You know, it's just like, oh my God, he really is a fucking bad guy. Whoa! I'm not getting new. You want me to switch my music. Excuse me. You want me to switch my music? You want me to switch my gear? You want me to switch my moves? No! No! Because no matter what, it is never enough for you. You want to talk about you're wearing this stuff because you feel a part of it? No. You're wearing it to make yourself feel good. And then eventually Cody comes out. Cody looks John in the face. And to pretty much sum up what Cody said, it was, you are going to be... This is not the man that I look to challenge at WrestleMania. Come WrestleMania 41, I want John Cena, not this guy right here. Because if this guy right here steps into Las Vegas, steps into the ring with me, I guarantee I'm going to wipe the floor with him and there's nothing going to be left. So John, if you're in there, come on out to play. And again, I'm basically summing up what he said. That's all. So, because... Folks, that was, wow. That was a hell of an opening segment. I can't get over that enough. That was great. So with that said, now let's get into our first match of the night. It started out with Ludwig Kaiser. Oh yes, the German excellence. Okay, Wade, I know I'm not helping myself with these impressions. But you know what? I need to do something for some comedic humor on here, damn it! Anyways, we have Ludwig Kaiser going up against Zero Mero, Penta, and good God Almighty. This was good. No holds bar match. Really good, fast-paced action. I don't want to say it reminded me of Lucha Underground, but it was moving almost... Trying to think the right way to say this. It reminded me of if WWE was attempting to recreate Lucha Underground. This would be the breakneck speed that it would have done. And I use breakneck speed lightly because breakneck for WWE standard. Okay? So before somebody goes and says, oh, you call that breakneck? Go and watch this and this match. Dude, chill. Chill out, homeboy. So anyways... Good paced match. Ludwig was leading into the commercial break and was pretty much dictating the pace post-commercial break up until the end. The end came when Penta started building up a bit of a comeback and then wound up hitting a destroyer jumping off the top rope, hitting a destroyer onto a chair, then scooping up Ludwig, doing a Penta driver onto the chair for the 1, 2, 3. That is it. Your winner, Penta El Zero. Matto right there. Gets interviewed by Kathy Kelly afterwards saying, you know, we're coming up to WrestleMania and I got one thing on my mind, and that is the Intercontinental Championship. So, folks, just stick that into my veins right now because I am all for Penta chasing that IC title. Next up, we got the oh so lovely Dakota Kai. Excuse me. Going up against Ivy Nile of American Made. Now, Ivy is also being accompanied by the Creed brothers and Chad Gable, so I don't want to hear anyone saying that Chad is Senor Americano, because he is not that generic masked American luchador that, you know, people are claiming him to be, because he is not the son of Mr. America, and he is not, as I dub him, Senor Americano. No. Now, as far as this match went with the girls, this is a nice, good pace. Dakota, she was leading it, pretty much dictating the pace and the flow of the match. Not to say that it was one-sided, dominant the entire time, but Dakota was pretty much being the captain of the match, leading on how it went. You know, but Dakota wound up getting the win with the GTK. Got the 1, 2, 3 there, and honestly, I definitely see her chasing after the Women's Intercontinental title relatively soon again. Next up, we had Jey Uso going up against Austin Theory. This was a squashy McSquash match right here because, honestly, the biggest highlight wasn't even the match itself. It was Jey in the back talking to the cameraman, hyping up on how coming up, WrestleMania, I'm going to win and I'm going to be the next World Heavyweight Champion. So cameraman, play my music. And as he's about to go through the curtain, you see Gunther. Oh, hey, Jey. Jey, how you doing? How you doing, huh? You know, I just got done seeing your brother last week. He's as big of a goof as you. And then they're getting separated and pulled apart. And then Jey just, all right, I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be cool. And then next thing you know, boom! Knocks the crap out of Theory, beats the piss out of Theory real fast, gets a 1, 2, 3. Then, after the match, Gunther comes in. They start trading some blows and then Jey winds up grabbing Gunther from waistlock from behind. Gunther rolls out to get out of it, and then next thing you know, Jey pulls the title off him. It's like, oh, well, look what I got. Gunther then goes to roll after him. Jey moves out the way, Gunther falls through the ropes, and Jey's just like, you see this? Hold on to it. Keep it warm for me. Shine that golden oil, that leather, because this baby's going to be mine come Mania. And that's pretty much on how he was with it. Next up, we had a tag match. We had the Creed brothers representing America. Fuck yeah. Going up against that dirty, disgusting, horrible deadbeat of a dad, which the Great Brown Hope from the Main Event Network can fully explain much, much better than I could on how Ray is like that, as well as his cohort Dragon Lee. And nice good action. Creeds, they were leading into the commercial break. Ray and Lee, they were leading post break. Wound up getting a win though via the 619 on the Julius. Post-match though, then they were attacked by that no good, disgusting scoundrel, Senor Americano. Cannot figure out who in the world this masked vigilante is. And I use that term lightly, and I do not use that term lightly, because that man jumped over the barricade last week, attacked wrestlers, was escorted out of the building via police, and then traveled across the seas to only do it all again. So again, I say, who is this masked menace? Because this Senor Americano is a menace. Now we come to main event match of the night. Finn Balor challenging the big, bad, Bodie nephew himself, Bron Breakker, And if I had to guess, Finn has a 22 and 5/18% of a chance of winning this, but we'll get into that in a moment. Now, it started out at a slower pace compared to the rest of the show, and it's not to say that that was a bad thing. If I was going to use a speed terminology for like with cars, think of the rest of the show punching it at like 80 to 85. This went at like a 65 to maybe a 70 for speed. So, something like that. It felt a step or two behind, but not in a bad way. You know, nice, good back and forth pace between the guys. I really dug the hell out of this. And at one point, Carlito and Dominic came out ringside during the match, and Finn is shooting death daggers at Dom, and this is because Finn wound up getting told by Dom. He was thinking about it. He was looking to go and see if he wanted to pitch if Penta wanted to join Judgment Day, and Finn just looks at him. Penta, you're telling me you want to recruit a guy who just challenged for the Intercontinental title, my Intercontinental title that I haven't won yet, and you want to recruit him? You're a snake. That's all you are. I'm not going to deal with you right now. And I don't know why, but I am feeling more and not so much. I'm not feeling heel Balor in this. I'm feeling like heel Bullet Club Fergal with this. I'm feeling heel Fergal Devitt with on how Finn's carrying himself. And it's just, I don't know why, it's just I'm getting those kind of vibes. But it was a good match. I dug the ungodly hell out of this. You know, Breaker just has that ungodly natural Steiner DNA where, you know, the genetic freak. He just, it is what it is. But wound up getting the win when Bron had Finn up on the ropes, going for a superplex. Carlito's distracting the ref. Dom's coming over to try and do a looky-loo, have Carlito over here while the big action's over here. Dom winds up tossing Bron off, but Finn slips and boop, splits the difference. Excuse me. Next thing you know, it's Then Bron winds up climbing up, does a Frankensteiner, and then gets a running charge, and winds up getting that running charge, and then a spear for the 1-2-3. After that, there was a post-match beatdown. Then Bron gets saved by Penta, and then you see Penta just pick up the Intercontinental title. Like, damn, that fucker looks nice. Looks over at Braun Strowman, gives it to him. That's yours. I'm gonna come for it soon enough, though. And then it's just kind of has that kind of look, and then boom. End of sequence, fade to black. Show's done. And speaking of shows being done, that is it for this week's show, folks. So please, like normal, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at TimVicious. Also, look for this show in audio form. It's on Spotify or wherever else you get your podcasts from. The audio platform is new and we are building it up. Also, folks, thank you to contributors to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. It's a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Thank you. Don't forget to check out WhatAManeuvered.net for some vicious rants apparel like what I'm wearing. We got t-shirts, tanks, long sleeves, women's tees, toddler tees, and baby onesies. Perfect gift for somebody you love, somebody you hate, or a shirt to give to Goodwill so you can hold on to your stuff. Don't forget to follow these cool-ass cats on their Twitter, DSB_IV, main event _net, the Main Event Wrestling Network account, Sergeant Curry Pants, 3 Count Thursday, D Dryer 1986, and like I always tell y'all, you love me great. If you hate me, well,
shut up and sit down.
Fuck it.